You think your dog brings you that one toy because they just want to play. But what if that's not the real reason? What if your dog keeps bringing you the same toy over and over because it means something emotionally deeper than most owners ever realize? And the strangest part, the toy they choose is almost never random. Some dogs bring their favorite toy when they're anxious, some do it when they miss you, and some dogs only do it when they're trying to comfort you. If your dog has ever walked up quietly, dropped one specific toy at your feet, then stared at you like they were waiting for something, you may have completely misunderstood what they were trying to say. Dogs don't communicate with words. They communicate with patterns, objects, rituals, emotions, and once you understand why your dog keeps bringing you that one toy, you'll never look at them the same way again, because in your dog's mind, that toy may represent safety or trust or even you. Most owners assume toy-bringing behavior is simple. Throw the ball, play tug, pay attention to me, and yes, sometimes it really is that simple. But dogs repeat emotionally important behaviors for reasons that go much deeper than entertainment, especially when they choose one specific toy again and again. Behaviorists have noticed something fascinating about dogs and emotional attachment objects. Dogs often assign emotional value to certain items, the same way children become attached to blankets or stuffed animals. The object becomes connected to comfort, routine, and emotional security. That's why some dogs panic when a favorite toy disappears. Not because they lost a thing, because emotionally they lost something familiar, something safe. And what happens next is something most people completely miss. When your dog brings that toy to you, they may be sharing their emotional, safe place with the person they trust most. Think about that for a second. Dogs protect valuable things. They hide things they care about. They guard objects connected to comfort. So when your dog willingly places that special toy in front of you, that's not a small gesture. That's vulnerability, it's trust. It's your dog saying, this matters to me and so do you. But there's another reason dogs do this that's even more emotional. Sometimes your dog isn't asking for comfort. They're trying to give comfort. And if you've never noticed this before, you're about to start seeing it everywhere. Have you ever had a stressful day? Sat quietly, maybe cried, maybe felt emotionally drained, and suddenly your dog walked over with a toy. Not barking, not hyper, just calm, quiet, gentle. That behavior shocks researchers because dogs are incredibly sensitive to human emotional shifts. They notice your posture, your breathing. Your tone even changes in your routine. Your dog may not understand why you're sad, but they absolutely understand that something feels different. So what do? They offer something emotionally meaningful, something that makes them feel safe. It's almost like your dog is saying, this helps me feel better. Maybe it'll help you too, and honestly, that's one of the purest forms of emotional empathy animals can show. But here's where things get even deeper. The way your dog gives you the toy matters too. Most people never pay attention to this. If your dog drops the toy and backs away, they may genuinely be offering it to you. If they shove it against your hand repeatedly, they may want reassurance or interaction. If they bring it and then lie down beside you, that's often emotional closeness, not play. And if your dog only brings you toys during specific moments at night, before you leave after arguments in the house, when you're sick, that's not random behavior. That's emotional association. Your dog is connecting the toy to emotional attention and to you. But what it means when they suddenly stop bringing you toys, most owners completely ignore. And honestly, this part matters. Dogs are creatures of emotional habit. When they suddenly stop sharing toys, affection, or rituals they normally repeat, it can sometimes signal stress, anxiety, confusion, or emotional withdrawal. Not always serious but important, especially if it happens alongside other changes like less eye contact, more hiding, reduced excitement, or unusual silence. Because dogs communicate emotionally long before physical symptoms appear. And sometimes the smallest behavioral changes tell the biggest story. That's why emotionally connected owners notice patterns, not just actions, because your dog's behavior is their language. And once you learn that language, everything changes. If this is changing how you see your dog, hit like and subscribe. Because most dog owners never realize how emotionally complex these small behaviors really are. Now here's something even more fascinating. Some dogs don't bring toys because they feel safe. They bring toys because they're anxious about losing connection with you, especially highly attached dogs. For example, have you ever noticed your dog bringing a toy right before you leave the house, or immediately when you come home? That toy may actually be acting like an emotional bridge, a coping mechanism. Dogs use routines to manage uncertainty, and bringing an object creates interaction, attention, connection in your dog's mind. The toy becomes part of keeping the relationship close. That's why rescue dogs often develop especially emotional toy behaviors. For many rescues, objects become symbols of stability, consistency, predictability, things they may not always have had before. So when a rescue dog chooses to share a treasure toy with you, that moment can carry incredible emotional weight. It means their nervous system has started accepting you as safe. And for some dogs that takes a very long time. But there's one final detail almost nobody talks about sometimes. The toy your dog chooses reveals what emotional state they're in. Soft toys are often connected to comfort and soothing. Chew toys can reflect stress relief. Balls usually trigger excitement and engagement. And old worn-out toys, those are often deeply emotional objects tied to familiarity and security. That shredded old toy you wanted to throw away to your dog. It may hold emotional history, your scent, your routines, your presence. That's why some dogs will ignore brand new expensive toys. It's not about the object. It's about the feeling attached to it. And maybe that's the biggest thing dogs teach us. Love isn't always loud. Sometimes love looks like a quiet dog walking across the room, carrying the one thing that makes them feel safe. Just to place it in your hands, because your dog isn't just bringing you a toy. They're bringing trust, comfort, connection, and in their own silent way, they're telling you that you're part of what makes their world feel safe.